This is a reading for Libra for August 2022. So this is jumping out for me, Libra, straight away, and here's another one. Okay, so Libra, going into August, there's a few things that... Okay, I'm going to look at the overarching energy here for you, Libra, for the month of August. Okay, so the overarching energy we've got here is the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is about those two choices, but one of them is not going to be ideal, okay, and the other one is very alluring. And you can see in this one, you know, the person's looking out the window and there's some arms reaching up to them. You can actually see two what looks like kind of lovers down here as well. So there's some choices coming up for you during the month of August, and probably a little bit of you know, this throwing the windows open in this particular card. Like, even though we have the traditional meanings of the tarot, which I do like to think about, I use several different decks for a reason, and that's because the imagery can resonate in different ways for people. And I think with this, you see that really large open window. It's throwing open the window. It's that breath of fresh air. You're looking for a change of some sort. Like, I really get that from this card and the energy as well. And it's funny talking about that breath of fresh air because you are an air sign, and we've got two swords cards come up, the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about a betrayal, or somebody is not being 100% honest. They're hiding something from you, okay? So something is not quite revealed for that. And the Four of Swords is around having a break, having a rest, maybe some time out. Could be having a break from a situation. And I really, when I see this card come up for clients, it's around really taking a step back and trying to be even minded about things, even though it might be a difficult situation, particularly with the Seven of Swords. So there's a little bit going on for you here during the month of August, Libra. So with that in mind, let's just see if there's anything else that I can glean here from the situation that's going to help looking at August. Okay, so we've got the King of Cups, which is normally quite a good card around emotions and feelings and being in those in a positive way. Again, going back to the comment that I made, the reason I use several different decks in a reading is the imagery is going to resonate in a different way. And I think with this particular King of Cups, he's not necessarily happy. He's got that, he's well fed, and he's got all of the things around him. You know, there's someone pouring him a lovely big glass of wine, etc. But there's something there, so he's fulfilled, but he's almost tipped that little bit too far. So something's happening there that's not going well for him. And you'll see here with the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wands is about swiftness. He was making a fast decision, which is interesting because you've got the Four of Swords about taking time out. So I would still be saying take a step back, but think about what needs to be done realistically in a fast way. And an example of that might be, looking at the finances of something. And so that's taking time out and really, looking at a budget, something like that. But then really being, solid and fast about the decision that you're going to make, because otherwise we can then second guess the decision that we've made, which really might be one that sometimes it's the swiftness of the decision that's the important thing. Okay, so lovely Libra. let's look at some energies that are coming in for you during August. These ones are flipped as well. Let's see if there's anything else. And it's interesting. It's interesting from an astrological perspective. There's a bit happening at the beginning of the month, and so we've all got a little bit of up and down energy happening at the beginning of August. So we've got Two of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star. Okay, so these are really beautiful cards. So I'm thinking, even though you're starting off on that foundation coming out of July with a few things going on for you, once you kind of make that decision, Libra, you're going on a good track. Two of Cups is a lovely energy if you're in a romantic situation, and the Nine of Pentacles could be where you're starting to make a bit more of a foundation. And as I said, once you make that decision, I think that's the thing. When there's a conflict that's happening, like with the Seven of Swords here, it can often be we tend to have sometimes a bit of fear about making decisions and forget the excitement of that. And I think the Knight of Pentacles is really lovely for that, because it's about that optimism, and Pentacles are about foundation, money, and your home life, etc. And it's about that optimism for the future. And the beautiful card that we've got here is the Star, and it's one of those cards that I think is really lovely when it comes up, and it's telling you to keep going. There is something worth persevering through. So I'm thinking with those top three cards, it's really lovely outlook for you, Libra, for the month of August. And we've got the Four of Cups here, and we've got the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is just going from the Star all the way through to these two, which are great, positive. Four of Cups, with this particular one, I'd be on the lookout for something where you're feeling disheartened about something in the background, and there's a bit of emotion here. And I always look at this particular card in this deck is this little guy's at the back with the emotion. So what's happening there? And then the other one that has come out with this is things are easier than you think, and I really think that plays with the Four of Cups. That things are going to be, actually, even on the surface they might look challenging, that things are going to come up and be okay, which is always a wonderful thing. So from a week by week perspective coming into August, Libra, I want us to just look at some things that would be good to consider, particularly in that first, as we move through each of the weeks. So we're wanting to look at the first week going into the second week of August here. Okay. Okay. Yep. Again, lots of swords. So when we see swords come up a lot in a reading, this is about, intellect, but also thoughts, feelings. There's words. There's a lot going on. So again, you've got another two, the Two of Swords here. So again, that might be reflecting back onto the overarching thing that we talked about, the Two of Wands and the choices. And you'll see in the Two of Swords, this person is blindfolded. So there's something that you're not looking at with this choice. So I would say keep something is either, again, with the Seven of Swords earlier on, not being divulged, or you're not considering, or you don't want to see. Okay? And again, we've all had that experience of maybe not wanting to look at a situation or a certain aspect of a situation. We've got the Ace of Swords, which is a beautiful card, and that's the culmination of all of that energy in the sword suit, you know, the intellect, but also remembering that the sword is, there's two sides to a sword, you know, there's the blade, but that can cut, but there's also the blade that can cut away the negative things as well. So looking at that energy, that's quite a pure energy of making decisions, you know, how you're navigating through that, you know, the words that you're using, etc. And again, we've got here the Five of Swords. So you are just completely sorting out here with the words that are going on for you. And also too, I mean, Libra, you're an air sign, so you're really in that energy naturally. And the Five of Swords, again, you know, we've got the bit of conflict that's happening here that had shown up earlier. So overall, remember that you've got this great energy here, and I think once you move through that conflict, you could be well on your way in August. So let's have a look what's happening around week 2 to 3. And I will also be doing spreads during the month as well. These tend to be, though, if I am seeing some energy that's coming up for a particular sign in their chart. So stay tuned for that. So if you do choose to subscribe, you will get that notification coming through when anything comes through for you, Libra. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the energy too. When you think about, there's a lot of cards that have come up quite quickly, and then for the first week, you know, we were quite certain about these cards. They came through quite quickly. These other ones, that there was a tension as I'm going through. Right. So for the second week of August moving through, we've got the Devil, and we've got the Lovers. So the Devil is about temptation. Is there something there that you know of that's going? Is there? I mean, when I see the Devil next to the Lovers, I sense this feeling of a friction in a love life or a past love life coming through, that tempter person that comes through. And then we've got the Chariot, the Hierophant, and Justice. So be keeping an eye out in the 2nd to 3rd week of August around what energy is happening there. You know, is there a temptation with, if you're in an existing relationship, is there something in the background that's happening? Lovers is beautiful, is a beautiful card. You know, but there's also, there could be a choice coming up there as well. And with the Devil, there could be a temptation. And the Chariot is, you know, getting some momentum moving forward, but also that balance too. And the Hierophant and Justice. You've got these two things here of the passion and temptation of the Devil, but also the Hierophant is around tradition, and then the Justice is obviously, you know, what is the right thing to do, or the right outcome to happen there. Okay. So then looking towards the close of August, so we're looking at, you know, week 3 to 4, and again, that really flew there, so that's something's, and you too. Okay, so we've got really, towards the end of August, we're getting to some positive resolution there. So we've got the 7 of Pentacles, and we've got the 3 of Cups. So the 7 of Pentacles, you know, is looking at that long term, you know, what's the right thing moving forward, and just being patient with things. Okay, so I see that even though there's a bit of disruption and making choices. You've got that beautiful energy that we looked at up here, with the star and the Knight of Pentacles, and the message of the things are easier than you think, which I really think, even though you've got some of this tension and temptation and it coming around that middle of August period, you've got the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, which is a lovely card. It's that connection with others. It's, parties and activities, and moving towards the end of August. Is there something coming up for you that you've got to look forward to, even though you've had some of these more difficult issues earlier on in the month? So I'd really be looking at that energy as well, Libra. So let's just see the closing overarching energy there then for August for you, Libra. Okay, Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is really about that that feeling of feeling trapped. And so, again, it's another sword card. So I would say that you've got this great energy. Please don't come out of August not seeing what your options are. I am going to say, though, what's coming through for me and is really strong here is that you've got both of the cards with the blindfold on the person, right? And I would say, what are you not looking at? Particularly with all of these swords coming up through this reading for August for you, Libra. Okay, so please remember that things are easier than you think. You've got the star, the wish card there for you, which is beautiful energy to tap into. And again, recapping that there is something that you're being offered with the Four of Cups that you're not looking at. And I can't reinforce that enough for you, Libra. It's this really strong energy that I'm getting, that with the swords, that you're getting involved in conflicts and all kinds of things, and really, opening that window to that breath of fresh air and seeing what is there. It's almost like this person that we looked at the beginning, and then at the end, trapped. You're wanting this breath of fresh air. It's really such a theme there, and I think, as I said, things are easier than you think. Okay, lovely Libra, have a beautiful August, and as I said, stay tuned and look out for any more readings during the month. Sometimes if there's some energy flow coming through, we'll pick up some other things for you, Libra. Okay, take care.